My name's Fiona and welcome back to Crochet by Rose. In today's video I'm going to be doing a crochet tutorial of the crochet basics. So for this video you are going to need some tools. You will need some yarn. I'm using chunky yarn for this tutorial, which means I will be needing a 6mm crochet hook. I'm using a clover and more, I just find them easier to work with. Then we're going to need a pair of scissors to cut our ends, and then at some point we will need a darning needle to sew in our ends. So there will be the tools that we need. We can just put these over there for the moment. So in this tutorial I'm going to show you how to make a slip knot, create a chain stitch, to do a single crochet, then to make a half double crochet, a double crochet and a treble crochet. So let's get started. So we're going to, first off we are going to be doing the single crochet. So we take some yarn from our ball. So first off we are going to make our slip knot. You can do this however you find easier. This is just how I prefer to do it. So I take the tail end of my yarn, drape it over my forefinger like so. I take that tail end with my thumb and forefinger like so. Now we take the working end of the yarn. The working end of the yarn is the yarn that's still attached to your ball. So we're going to take that working end of our yarn, we're going to loop it over our forefinger like so. We now have two loops on our finger. We're going to want to take that back loop over the front loop and off our finger to create a slip knot like so. We have now created a slip knot. We're going to want to put that onto our hook like so. And at the moment, as you can see, that loop or slip knot that we've just made is a bit too big for our hook, so we need to make this loop smaller, and we can do that by pulling on the working end of the yarn like so. We've now made that loop smaller. It's fitted to our crochet hook, but it's not that tight that we can't move it along the shaft of our hook as needed. Now with your non-dominant hand you're going to tension the yarn. I'm just going to show you how I personally do it. If you find another method easier, that's fine as well. So I take the working end of the yarn, I bring it over my little finger like so. I wrap it around, then I bring it across the back of the next two fingers, and then around my forefinger and drape it across the forefinger like so. Now using my thumb and middle finger, I'm going to pinch that yarn just below the slip knot we made. That will allow me to control the work. So now that we've got that sorted, we are going to make our chain stitch. To make a chain stitch, we are going to have the hook facing away from us, and we're going to grab this yarn here and wrap it around our hook like so. That's called a yarn over. Now we're going to pull that loop we've just got, and we're going to pull it through the loop that's already on our hook like so. And that's a chain stitch. We're going to do that again. So wrap the yarn around our hook like so. Now we're going to pull that yarn through the loop on our hook like so, and do that again. Yarn over, pull through. And that's all you need to do to create a chain stitch. So for the purposes of this tutorial, I'm just going to do a sample size. So the amount of chains that you need will depend on your project you're doing, but for this tutorial I'm just going to do a sample piece, so I'm just going to chain 10. So we've got 3, we need to do 7 more. So yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through, and we're just going to keep doing that until we have 10. So we have 5, 6, 7, 8, and notice as I'm working I'm bringing my thumb and finger up the work so I can keep control. 9 and 10, and we're going to make one more, so 11. Now when you're counting your chain stitches, you never count the loop that's on your hook. And if you look back at that chain that we've just made, you'll notice that it kind of looks like a load of little V's on top of each other. So just count each V, and then you can just count each V, and that will allow you to count how many chain stitches you have made. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Now if you turn the work over, you'll notice that there's some bumps on the back, like here. These are what we're going to work into when we make our stitches. It just gives you a cleaner edge when you've finished your work. So now to make our single crochet, remembering that the loop on our hook doesn't count as a stitch, we're going to do a single crochet into the second chain from the hook. So we've got, that's the first bump here, here's the second, so that's the second stitch. We're going to take our hook and we're going to go into that bump like so. We're going to grab the yarn with our hook and pull that through that loop or through that stitch. We now have 2 loops on our hook. We're going to yarn over and we're going to pull through both loops on our hook, and that is a single crochet stitch completed. We're going to do that again, going to the next stitch like so, grab the yarn, pull it through. We have 2 loops on our hook. We're going to yarn over and pull through both loops on our hook. We've got 2 single crochet, and again we're going to go into that next stitch, grab the yarn and pull it through. Now we're going to yarn over and pull through both loops on our hook. Stitch complete, we have another single crochet, and we're just going to do that all the way to the end. So work all the way along to the end until you have 1 stitch left or 1 bump left, and I'll meet you back. So we have 1 stitch left or 1 bump left. We're just going to work into that last stitch, grab the yarn, pull through 2 loops on our hook, yarn over and pull through both loops to complete the stitch. So that is our first row of single crochet complete, and that's what it should look like. So if you turn the work like so, you'll see the top here again will look like little V's like it did in your chain stitch. These V's are what we're going to be working into when we go up to our next row. So to move along to our next row, we're going to chain 1 so that we get up to the right height for our stitch. So we've chained 1, now we're going to turn our work, and this time instead of working into 1 loop, we are going to be working into 2 loops. So we're going to take our crochet hook and go through, making sure we have both loops on our hook. We're going to grab the yarn and pull through, and we have 2 loops on our hook, and we're going to pull through both loops on our hook, completing the stitch. We'll do that again, yarn over, pull through, 2 loops, yarn over, pull through, and we're going to do that into every stitch until we get to the end like so. And you'll notice that this row will be easier for you to work on than it was for your chain stitch, because where your stitches are now is a little bit more defined and easier to work with. And we've got 2 stitches left. Sometimes it can be a little difficult to see your last stitch because that will normally be the one where you've chained up. So just there, so we have 2, and now work into that final stitch, yarn over, pull through, 2 loops, yarn over and pull through both. So that is how you do a single crochet. Now we are going to move on to our half double. I'm going to show you how to do that. So let's get some more yarn off our ball. So this is where we've just finished with our slip knot, chain stitch and our 2 rows of single crochet. So if you were doing a pattern that was all single crochet, you would just carry on doing what we already have until you got the project the size that you wanted. But today we're just doing a sampler of the basic stitches. So let's pick up where we left off. Now we are going to be doing the half double crochet which is this stitch here. So we are going to chain 1. We're going to turn our work. Now for a half double crochet, you're going to want to, as we say, yarn over. Now we're going to go into that first stitch, remembering to get both loops on our hook, like so. We're going to grab the yarn and pull through. We now have 3 loops on our hook, and we're going to yarn over and pull through all 3 loops on our hook, like so. So yarn over. If it's easier for you, you may want to hold on to that like so. We're going to go into that stitch. We're going to pull through a loop of yarn. We have 3 loops on a hook. We are going to pull through all 3 loops on our hook. If you're finding this a little bit difficult because it's the first time you've done it, to make it easier to get your hook through all 3 loops, then tilt your hook downwards like so. It'll make it a little bit easier for you. And there we go. So yarn over. Just hold on to, make sure you don't lose that. So you may like to hold on to it while you're getting used to crocheting. So into that stitch, grab the yarn, pull through. We have our 3 loops on a hook. We're going to yarn over and pull through all 3 loops, remembering to tilt your hook downwards to make it easier on yourself. And there we have, we've made our 3rd double crochet, and we're going to do that in every stitch till the end, and let's just work that with you. So yarn over, into the stitch, pull through a loop, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops, yarn over, into the stitch, pull through a loop, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops, and we're just going to keep doing that until we get to the end. And we have 1 stitch left. Let's work into that one, and that is our row of half double complete. So let's move on to the next row. We're going to chain 1, turn our work, yarn over, go into that first stitch, which is here, pick up a loop, pull through, 3 loops on a hook, pull through all 3, yarn over, go into the stitch, grab the yarn, pull through 3 loops, yarn over, pull all 3 loops, and we're just going to do that all the way to the end. We have 1 stitch left, yarn over, go into the stitch, pull through a loop, 3 loops on our hook, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops, and that is our half double crochet. So we've just completed the half double. Now we are going to move on to the double crochet. So this is the sample of double crochet that I made earlier for you to have a look at. So now we are going to doing our double crochet. So with our double crochet, to get our stitch up to the right height, or our work up to the right height should I say, we're going to chain 2. So 1 and 2, turn our work, we're going to yarn over, go into that stitch as normal, we're going to grab the yarn and pull through a loop. We have 3 loops on our hook, but unlike before, we're not going to go through all 3. So what we do now with the 3 loops, we grab the yarn, yarn over, we're going to pull through the first 2 only, like so. We have 2 loops left, and we're going to yarn over and pull through those last 2 loops. Let's show you again. So yarn over, go into the stitch, grab the yarn, pull through a loop. We have 3 loops on our hook. We're going to yarn over and pull through the first 2 loops, like so. We have 2 loops left, so we're going to yarn over again and pull through those last 2 loops, and that will complete your double crochet stitch. So let's carry on doing this with you so you get the hang of it. So we are yarning over, going into the stitch, pulling through a loop of yarn. We have our 3 loops. We're going to yarn over and pull through 2, and we're going to yarn over again and pull through those final 2. So yarn over, go into the stitch, pull through a loop, 3 loops, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, go into the next stitch, yarn over, pull through a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, go into the stitch, pull through a loop, 3 loops, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through final 2, yarn over, go into the stitch, pull through a loop, 3 loops, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, go into the stitch, pull through a loop, 3 loops, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, go into the stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through the final 2. And that is our first row of double crochet complete. We'll do one more to show you how to move on to your next row if you was doing an entire swatch of double crochet. So chain 2 to get your stitches up to the right height. That's 1, that's 2. We're going to turn our work. We're going to yarn over, go into that first stitch like so, grab the yarn, pull through a loop. We've got 3 loops on our hook. We're going to yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and we're just going to do that into every stitch until we get to the end. So, and that is our second row of double crochet complete. And the last stitch I'm going to show you how to do for today's tutorial is our treble crochet. So this is a sample swatch I made of treble crochet. So to do a treble crochet, we're going to need to get our stitches up to the right height. So for that, we are going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3. I'm going to turn our work. Now to do a treble crochet, we are going to yarn over twice. So that's once, that's twice. So you'll have 3 loops. You're going to go into that first stitch. You're going to grab the yarn and pull through a loop. You'll now have 4 loops on your hook. Now we're going to yarn over and pull through 2, leaving 3 loops on our hook. We're going to yarn over and pull through the next 2, leaving 2 loops left, and now we're going to yarn over again and pull through those final 2 loops. And that is a treble crochet completed. So let's do it again. So we're going to yarn over twice, go into that stitch, pull through a loop. We have 4 loops on our hook. We're going to yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So let's do another one. So we're going to yarn over twice. That's once, twice, go into that stitch, grab the yarn, pull through a loop, 4 loops. We're going to yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over again and pull through the final 2. So yarn over twice, go into that stitch, pull through a loop, 4 loops. Then we're going to pull through the first 2, yarn over, pull through the next 2, and yarn over and pull through the final 2. And we're just going to do that into every stitch until the end. So yarn over twice, go into the stitch, pull through 2, pull through 2, pull through 2, stitch complete. And let's do our final stitch. So we're going to yarn over twice, that's once, that's twice, into the stitch, pull through a loop, 4 loops on a hook, we're going to yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2 again, and then we're just going to do that again to complete our stitch, yarn over and pull through the final 2, and that is our stitch complete, and that is our treble crochet. So if you do a full swatch of it, it will look like that. This is the sampler we've made in our tutorial today. So if you've worked along with me, this is what you will have. So we learned how to make the slip knot. So here's your slip knot. Then we did the chain stitch. We did our first row of single crochet. Then we had our second row. Then we did our first row of half double crochet, our second row of half double crochet. Then we had this row of our double crochet. We did our second row of double crochet. And then this really tall stitch at the end is our treble. So that is what your sampler should be looking like. I hope that you have found this tutorial useful. If you have, then please do give this video a like. If you would like to see more content like this, then please do make sure you are subscribed to the channel. If you are already subscribed, then please make sure you have your notifications bell turned on. That way you'll get a notification of when I upload another video. I am planning on doing more crochet tutorials going forward, so do look out for those. And I thought in that case, if I'm going to do more crochet tutorials, it would be a good idea to have a basics of crochet video on the channel, so that way you can go from there and move forward. So with that said, thank you for joining me today, and I hope to see all of you in the next one. Bye!